Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live in association with our fantasy partner My 11 Circle. I'm Gaurav Kapur. With me, Michael Vaughan and Joy Bhattacharjya at the halfway mark of the first game, one of two games today on this Sunday. Of course, it's Kolkata and Chennai that we're talking about. Kolkata won the toss, decided to bat first. Were in a bit of trouble in the 17th over. They were 125 for 5, but it just shows that it pays to have a long batting order. And with Dinesh Karthik coming in at 5 down, and especially in the kind of form that he's in, taking them to about 53 in the last 5 overs and getting them to 171 for 6 in their 20, which also happens to be close to the prediction that Joy Bhattacharjya had, which was 169. So congratulations to you. A round of applause from Michael and me. Yes, well done.
Thank you. I'd like to thank the Oscars, the Academy. Most of all, I'd like to thank Dinesh Karthik. And, I was thinking about it that everyone who talks about all this, we talk about Dinesh Karthik having 17 suitcases, this big meme about 17 suitcases when he's coming back. Instead of 17 suitcases, can someone make sure that he at least gets to play 17 balls in every inning?
Yeah.
Such a good batsman, such a terrific batsman. Why did he come after Nitish Rana? I have nothing against Nitish Rana, but he ended up on a strike rate of 137 even after hitting a 4 in the last ball. And look at Dinesh Karthik. His strike rate is 230 odd. And this is not something he's done. Plus, this is the same guy when Mumbai won their first tournament ever in 2013. Dinesh Karthik was batting at number 3. So my only problem is such a good batsman. Can we give him a few more balls to play with instead of going with Nitish Rana on this? That's the only thing. Otherwise, I think 171 is a terrific total, and they've done very, very well on this pitch.
Well, today the way he's batted, Michael. Now that we're talking about Dinesh Karthik, the way he has batted, not just above Rana, but maybe even above Russell today.
Yeah, I mean, he's a bundle of energy, Dinesh Karthik. We've had him in the UK commentary with us all summer, and he's exactly the same on commentary as when he bats. He goes out with a great deal of energy. He goes on the mic with a load of energy. Little cameos make a difference in T20 cricket. And, of course, you try and get a player to a 70-plus if you can at the top of the order. But those kind of engine room players from around 5, 6, 7 and 8, if they can get 12 balls and create impact and have a strike rate over 200. You end up with a score like KKR have got, which looks just above par. David Hussey said 170. Well, they've got 171. I think that's what you call playing to the coach.
And giving him one extra for good luck.
And the coach says you want 170. We'll give you a bit of VAT, just a small amount of VAT at the team to the coach. It seems a good score. I mean, there's only really 2 bowlers in Thakur and Jadeja that had any real control in the game. Jadeja was exceptional with his left arm spin. And I just look at the spin options for KKR, a bit more mystery. I think they may play a big part in the second innings.
Of course, for all you Indians out there, what Michael just said about VAT is equal to GST. That's right. It's the same. Their VAT is our GST. You would have known the VAT because a lot of you travel to London, but we can't go anymore. You see, it is a big problem. They will not have us. They will not have us. Right? I do not want to be in prison for 10 days.
I'll have you. Come to my
10 days of quarantine right next to your oven.
There's a bit of liquor for you. Well, I just actually the two pundits that you have on today, I think it kind of sums us both up with our background. You've got Joy with all the books, and you've got me with all the booze.
The 2 B-letter words. What else do you need? You need booze and you need books. That's all you need. Who's getting high today, right? Who is it going to be? Kolkata. They've given their coach the total that they wanted. They were obviously aiming for this. They've got 271 in Abu Dhabi. The pitch, did you think it slowed down, Michael, in the second half, though? Because they kind of struggled a little bit from over about 8, 9 to about over 15 till Dinesh Karthik came in.
Yeah, I mean, it looks the kind of pitch that that's why I was so impressed with Dinesh Karthik's innings, that he got going pretty much from ball 1. It looks the kind of pitch that it might take you a few balls to get used to, and then you can start to expand and strike the boundary. The odd balls just kind of stayed in the surface. I heard David Hussey say they feel it's just a little bit too pace, but we hear a lot of teams say that these pitches are too pace, and it's not always the case. Look, 171 on this venue with the spin options, with a tactical, clever captain like Owen Morgan, they'll fancy the chances of defending that. But they're up against CSK, and they have a batting lineup that goes pretty much down to number 10. So they'll fancy chasing this down, but they'll have to play with a great amount of skill. And at times, I think they'll have to kind of ebb and flow. I don't think it'll be just a powerhouse batting display that you can chase down this target. And that's what really impressed me about the KKR innings. It just had little ebbs and flows. It had little periods where they looked like they were struggling, and then they got going. Then they had a little period of struggle, and then they finished with a flourish at the end. So it was a very smart batting innings.
Lord Thakur just does it. He's just, there's some we talk about a purple patch for batters, a purple patch for bowlers. This guy just comes in and gets the job done. You're giving away less than a run a ball when you've gone for 8.5 and over, and then you take 2 important wickets.
Yeah, I mean, the second wicket, especially Andre Russell at that stage of the match, is like gold. Yeah. I mean, where do you go with that? And I mean, he bowled brilliantly under the circumstances. And see, that's the one point that Dhoni would be looking at it. I really hope Dwayne Bravo's injury is at least decent serious, because if it was just a niggle and they kept him out for safety reasons, it's proved very expensive for them. Sam Curran's gone for 56 in his score, and 56. I think that was the thing. He just couldn't get going, and they leaked so many runs out there that whatever Shardul did and Chahar did to a certain extent, but more importantly, what Ravindra Jadeja did and Shardul did, that got underdone by a certain extent because of what Sam Curran was so just leaked runs, and Hazelwood just didn't again look the part. I mean, what we were talking about, Michael Vaughan, that why would you play Hazelwood if Dwayne Bravo was even halfway fit, even if you have to play Sam Curran? So those are the kind of things that I think Chennai will be looking at and wondering, did we miss a trick out here? Because this is not the time in the season for rotation in terms of, because how this mess is turning out now, how the teams are bunching at one end in the middle. It's not the time for rotations or trying out new players.
What do you think, Michael?
No, I'm a big believer in all cricket, that when you get on a winning roll, and particularly players that are playing well, don't rotate the players that are playing really well. Look, there's probably a niggle. That's the only excuse I can give for Dwayne Bravo not playing today, that he is that age of his career that if he's got any kind of ounce of a niggle, you leave him out, because it might expand into something quite serious, and clearly he's going to play a massive role later down the line in the qualifications, etc., in those elimination games. So there must be a niggle. It's the only excuse, and if there is, that's fine. They've played Sam Curran. It's not worked today. Sam is the kind of player that I always feel he needs a little bit of shape through the air. When it's not swinging through the air, he's got a decent cutter, he's got a few variations, but there wasn't really anything through the air for Sam Curran. I think on this kind of pitch, against the players that he was bowling to, it was always going to be quite difficult with no swing.
We know that Dinesh Karthik has 17 suitcases, so that he has enough luggage to stay back with India through October and half of November as well. Yeah, just saying, man. Just saying. He's got the luggage.
He'll be commentating.
As it stay with India with that.
He can't play. Nah, he can't.
That's right. He's busy. Sorry, India. He's busy. Yeah. Well, he's been part of one. He was part of the 2007 team, wasn't it? The World Cup winning team, Joy?
In 2007, right?
Yeah, he was. It's just he was Rohit Sharma from that team, correct? Nobody else.
MS Dhoni?
But I mean, in terms of still playing for India, because Dinesh hasn't announced his retirement.
Dinesh hasn't
announced his retirement, because he did mention about 3 or 4 months ago that he is looking at that role in India, which is the finisher, right? Which is exactly what he's doing for Kolkata. He's practicing like that. He's doing that. He was eyeing that role, because if Hardik doesn't play, and we don't know, maybe he plays the second game today, because Zahir Khan has said that he is practicing and he'll be okay. We still don't know. With Mumbai, you never know till you see him on the field. There is a need, just saying. But anyway, listen, that's a discussion for another time.
I've got a nickname for Dinesh Karthik. After seeing this innings, my nickname for him and the way he's been finishing, my nickname for him is microwave. He heats up really quickly. Everyone else needed time to heat up. He heats up really quickly. Dinesh Karthik is microwave for me. He just
and he also
came on in.
And he also spins around on the crease a lot.
Yeah. Can he also come and fix my microwave? It's broken at the minute.
He was there all summer. You missed a trick.
I know. You should have asked when he was there.
He would have been happy to. All right. So your call going into this 172 for Chennai to chase. They seem to have the batting. Like you said, there's Josh Hazelwood coming at 11, and he's tonked a few balls as well. We've seen that in Test cricket. Do you back these guys to get it? Let's have a look at their batting, and then we'll have a look at the Kolkata bowling as well, as Mike suggested. A few mystery spinners there. But do you back them? Do you say 50-50, or do you say advantage Kolkata?
I think it's advantage Calcutta. I just think you've got two ends of the spectrum where Chennai probably know that they don't have to win. I think KKR know they have to win. I think there's a desperation in the purple shirts. There's a batting lineup there that, of course, can chase down anything. But I just think that this KKR team seems to be just on a roll. I'd just be a bit wary, CSK, if I was them, to not think that they can lose this game, because that'll give KKR more and more momentum. And the more momentum you get going through to those eliminations, we've seen it so many times in all these franchise leagues around the world. Teams that arrive at those eliminations with the momentum of wins, they're the hardest teams to stop. So if I was CSK, I'd be focusing very hard on making sure that they almost like nullified KKR today by
just
getting
to
this
add,
score.
If they win today, they go up to third position. So they dethrone Bangalore. Besides Delhi and Chennai, who've been dominating and, of course, have a positive net run rate, Calcutta is the only other team. And definitely when you look at that 5-team muddle for those 2 spots, that little race for 2 spots, these guys are the only ones with a positive net run rate. And secondly, Chennai could also think that these guys could start challenging us. They could start challenging the top 2 position. It is possible, right? Because then in 10, they'll have 10. Well, we're jumping the gun a little bit, but still, they could threaten. So I think Chennai perhaps has a little more skin in this game than even they think. Because suddenly this can turn around pretty quickly when you lose 2 and Calcutta wins 2, right, Joy?
Yeah, exactly. I just go back to 2014. Calcutta were 2-5, and they won the next 7 and became 9-5 and went the top 2. That's exactly what happened in 2014. They went on to win the championship. You know what Michael was talking about? Momentum. Absolutely. It's all about momentum. I'll tell you who I think the key player today is. I think this is the kind of attack, this kind of spin attack. Suresh Raina is their key. He's not really happy with the fast bowling right now because, he's just in that space where he's not playing that much cricket. You could wake Suresh Raina at 3 o'clock at night and ask him to play spin. He was along with Gautam Gambhir, probably the finest player of spin in the game. If Suresh Raina gets going, that's their key against the likes of Narayan and Varun Chakravarti. If Suresh Raina doesn't, they'll need something special from one of the others. But I think Suresh Raina is a key. This is his kind of match. Slow pitch, ball not coming on, spinners dominant, where Rituraj and all stroke players, they just can't see the timing as good. Might be Suresh Raina's day. It needs to be Suresh Raina's day for Chennai to do well.
And from what we've seen, now we've seen 3 innings that way. You know that your best chance to score actually with the ball coming onto the bat is in the power play. So Michael, they are going to go hard in the power play, aiming for 55-60 if they can get it. Maybe just lose 1 wicket if they get to there. That's their best chance, isn't it?
Yeah, you think so, but again, historically, Chennai have played the power play quite conventionally. They'll just bat. They're not too worried if it takes them down to the last 5 needing 70. With the likes of Dhoni and Co, they've done it so often in the past that they're the kind of team that just likes to just play and make sure that they keep wickets in hand. I don't think they'll come out like a KKR side would do. I don't think they'll do that. I think they'll just try and bat and make sure that they keep wickets in
56.
hand.
56. That's what they'll get in the power play.
42.
51. 51.
42. Heart beating purple today, Joy. Huh?
No, I'll be intrigued. I want to see what happens today. It's an interesting match.
Interesting. All right. Well, that's all we have time for right now. We're going to see you halfway through this chase, or rather 10 overs in this chase on Cricbuzz Combox. We're going to come back then. That's all we have time for. Big thank you to Michael Vaughan and Joy Bhattacharya. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Cricbuzz Live in association with our fantasy partner, My 11 Circle.